part yesterday was them going through text messages, the defense attorneys, because they were, right now, they are fighting to prove that Cassie was a willing participant in the freak-offs, that there was no force, there was no coercion. So they're going through these text messages. Basically, it was a ton of them. And she's in the text messages saying she's down for the freak-off. Also, she's in these text messages planning, like, you know how she said Puff was the ultimate choreographer of these things? She's giving very much Lorianne Gibson. She was choreographing her dang self in these text messages.
Oh, wow.
So what they did was, which I thought was, like, again, brilliant, and it blew the prosecution's setup up. The day that Diddy and Cassie got into that fight at the Intercontinental Hotel, the video that CNN dropped, when the prosecution presented the narrative around it, like, okay, let's give y'all some background info, they only used like 3 texts from the day of March 5th. The defense attorneys was like, let's go back to March 3rd. And let's lead you into where the prosecutors, y'all talked about text messages.
And that was 2017, right?
2016.
16. Okay.
Yes. So when they took it back, it was such a different conversation. And I don't understand why the prosecution wouldn't have included this and kind of got ahead of that. So in the text messages, Cassie and Diddy are having a conversation days leading in, and you know they're like sexting, and a lot of the explicit text messages they wouldn't read in court. So I don't know exactly what she was saying, but they were sexting a bit. She sent, I believe it was 4 or 5 sexual text messages. Like, she's initiating that. Puff is really on some like, I'm proud of you, because she did have that big movie premiere coming up. So he's like, yo, I'm proud of you. You got this weekend coming up. They talking about like accessories for her outfit. And then she's like, so it gets to the weekend, right? It gets to the day that they did that freak off, and she's trying to figure out what her plans are. And he's like, okay, well, I'm down to do whatever you want to do. Let me know what you got going on. So she's like, I want to see my baby. And then they start, and now they're having a conversation about the freak off, and he's telling her, since you want to do this, you plan it. Call the guy from the male escort service they were using, Cowboys or something like that, and get who you want. You set up how this one is going to go. He even said to her in text, just like, if you want, we can sit back and just watch. Like, we don't have to even participate. And they asked her, but they was like, okay, so what does that mean? Like, sit back and just watch. There were also text messages from another text. So that created a whole different narrative around that, right? But there were also text messages. Remember, she talked about being forced to do it on her period and stuff like that? There was text messages where she mentioned being on her period, and he didn't force her to do anything on her period. He kind of like backed off of it. He was like, oh, okay, bet. Like, cool. The text messages that they showed yesterday in court, that whole force, that coercion thing, it blew that up.